All right. Hi, everybody. Talking today about a feature in Canvas called allowing multiple attempts. This has actually been around since I think mid to late 2023. But I just sort of got turned on to it over the last summer, and I've used it pretty much on every assessment that I've given in Canvas over the course of this school year. So let's see what it's all about. So you can just see I'm here in my Canvas page, and I'm going to go a couple ways. Of course, I could get to my quizzes, but I'm going to pop over here on this left-hand side and get to my quizzes. Now, for any of my quizzes, where I need to be is in build mode. I guess let's just take this old version so I know I'm not messing with anything. And I'm just clicking on these three dots to get to the build option. You can get into the quiz and click on the build button at the bottom left right-hand corner as well. But either way, you need to get yourself into your build mode. Okay. Now that I am, and it's taking its time here a little bit, I am into build mode. I need to get over into my settings. Okay. At any point, if you have any questions about any of these settings and how they're used, why I might have them turned on, please feel free to let me know. But what I'm going to scroll down to, and this is a test from last year, so I did not have this turned on. I'm going to scroll down here to this allow multiple attempts option, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Okay. Now from there, I've got these 4 different categories that I can set sort of a little bit of my sub settings. Just turning that on, that's not really anything new to Canvas. That's been around a while, that kids have been allowed multiple attempts. But what that meant was they could just go in and take the whole test all over again. So they're starting back from step number 1, really, and they're having to take the whole test all over again. That's not really, what we want them to do. If we want to promote mastery, what we want them to be able to do is to build on their last attempt. And that is the new feature that's pretty awesome. So to turn that on, I need to put a tick in that box. So I need to check that box. Okay, so what does that mean? So that means if a student is allowed a further attempt on the assessment, the only questions they will get presented with are the ones they got wrong. They will get another opportunity to take those questions and, obviously try and get them right? So all they're doing is going through that. So I'm sort of starting all the way over here. So let me work from right to left and talk about these options. What does the waiting period mean? Well, one thing, for example, I may say, okay, yeah, I'll let you try and improve upon your initial attempt, but you have to wait at least 24 hours. So I'm going to make a day's wait because I have to say that you've worked on your study guide before I'll allow you another attempt. I'm not just going to blindly allow you to have another attempt without you showing me that you've put some effort in, something like that, right? I almost always turn this on. And I have found actually my allow multiple attempts and enable build on last attempt, just having that on by default. I have had times where Canvas has crashed in the middle of a quiz, and I don't panic because I know I've allowed multiple attempts and I have enable build on last attempt on. And so when the student comes into that assessment, they're going to see all their existing work. And it's just such a breather. And if I need to, I can come in and reduce the time. Like if they need to get right back in immediately, I just come in and I turn that down to 0. Okay. But, in the absence of those freaky one-off Canvas is weird situations, I usually have that set to a day. That way, if they take it on an A day period 1, I know they could reattempt in community period on a B day. Okay. All right. Allowed attempts. It does default to unlimited, but you can turn it to limited and then state the number of attempts that are allowed. I usually turn that to 2. And then the other and last option that you have here is which score do you want to keep? Do you want to keep the highest? Do you want to keep an average of the attempts? Do you want to keep the last attempt, or do you want to keep the first attempt? Choose whatever fits your grading situation there, obviously, okay? It defaults to highest, but change what you want there. Now, it is saving all those, as you can see, success, your quiz has been saved. So as I've been adjusting these, it is saving those options, but to get out of here and sort of ultimately leave this, I do want to come up here and tick on the return button. And that's it. That is enable build on last attempt. So give that a try, and you may find that you're doing that kind of without default on most of your assessments. Just again, like even if you don't think you're going to allow for multiple attempts, I feel like it's like my little safety net for if things go wrong in Canvas. As always, if you have any questions, any concerns, let me know.